everyone. How's it going? Give me a second. Need to undeafen myself for the boy, Mark. Hello, Mark.
Yeah. Hello there.
Hello, hello. And welcome to
Hello
everyone
there.
else for jumping in for this episode of DangIT Prodcast. This is episode 359. And I didn't even think about this, but we are just like 1 week away from episode 360.
Let's go.
There we go. Let's go. So, Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah, all things considered. I mean, like, this is like Mother's Day weekend. Hopefully everyone's gonna spend a good time with their mothers, or wishing everyone else one. Um, a bunch of other things happening too. It was like the past week has been like my brother's birthday as well. My dad's birthday is coming up too, so it's just like all these things are coming together, like almost to
Happy
one like
birthday.
whole unit thing. So I've been like thinking about that. But I'm thinking, yeah, I think we're celebrating it all like today. Maybe not my dad's
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
but just like two. I'm sorry, what was that, Mark?
Happy birthday.
Doing it. Sorry, Mark. I'm having a hard time actually picking that up.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I'll pass it along.
All I know is he's your brother. I don't think any of us even know what that man's name is.
Have I ever brought it up before? It's not a
I
big
don't
deal, but
think so.
not a big deal. But he's my older brother, so he's come over from LA to come visit.
Oh, he lives in
Join for
LA.
Mother's Day. So, but it was also his birthday this past week too. Or wait, not this past week. It was last week. So, yeah. So I'm just happy to catch up with him whenever I get the chance. That's pretty much everything. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Man, short podcast.
Really short podcast, guys. But yeah, no. Gonna give some general updates as what's going on the channel. Actually, y'all know about the Quirk Concepts videos, yeah?
I
Those
did
are
not know we were going. I didn't know we were going full circle on that already.
yeah, no. Like I've been thinking about it like for a while now, but I never really had the time to really implement like exactly how I do it. Because the issue is that because of the big hiatus, a lot of comments been kind of like filtering themselves into the videos since they don't really go away on. So it was me trying to figure out exactly where I'm going to pick up the comments from, and like further elaborate on how I want to go about making this video, and also consider like the limitations, because if I don't put a limiter on it, we're gonna end up with like a 2-hour podcast type of video of
I
me
just
just
realized. How many comments have you still been getting? Has it really been like that much of a flood?
um I would say it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but that doesn't stop them from happening, right? If I had to like give you a consistent number, there's usually at least maybe like 3, like maybe a month. Like it just kind of like pops up on people's feeds, and with the algorithm, how it works is that the more comments that pop up on like a video, the more likely it's going to be presented elsewhere on the internet or on YouTube. So this goes shows the comments help a lot, actually. So I definitely appreciate that, and I should really like definitely consider, because I didn't know what I wanted to do with the because it was a really cool idea from the start. It's still a really cool idea now. I just didn't know when I would jump back into it, because it's one of those things where I figured that we should just do it as a group dynamic. Um Otherwise I would be down to do it, but since it's kind of hard to really schedule like people in here and there, I should probably just kind of like go forward with it and try to
I was gonna
control.
say, I could help you out if you need the help. If you need a co-host.
Yeah, I mean, like for sure, because the comments that we get range from like some very like comedic, like simplistically short responses to some pretty elaborate sized ideas. Sometimes
Are there any?
multiple of them.
Are there any Sue is my girlfriend, but that's okay because she's totally down with it kind of comments?
Not that I picked up this time. A lot of them are actually very elaborate, but not like insert OC into into the mix. That was really funny though. I'm glad that we picked that up because I can't find that comment anywhere.
It's in the video. I know for a fact it's in the video.
Yeah, it's definitely in the video, and we try. Oh my god. So, actually, you know what? Just to give a little bit of a tease as to what that video is going to be. What was it? My core concepts for. We have a run-on sentence, like a really long run-on sentence. And I can't wait to jump into that one.
Oh boy.
So, I came up with a way for me to kind of tackle on like this type of video, and that's literally to well, I guess I kind of done it in the past, but this is a little more like I'm actually doing it. But essentially, write out kind of a script s type of thing, mainly a template where I just put like a initial like blurb as to like what the introduction should. I've literally just kind of snippet like images of the comments themselves and put them in the same document, and I'm supposed to just add comments like down below as far as like the general like this is me actually thinking about it after a little bit, a little short elaboration. The reason for that is just to make the process of recording a lot easier as far as not having a lot of pauses in between, so I don't spend too much time like editing, just trying to cut out like pauses here. But
Yeah, I know what you mean.
that's the process so far, and I'm really digging how much I'm kind of digging into it because there's actually some really interesting ideas. Like sometimes, like when you read it from just from face value, it just seems like okay, that is what it is. But when you actually think about it in the My Hero space, you start to elaborate a little bit more so, and I'm getting a lot out of that for each of these comments. So, except for one,
I still,
but it's
I,
it's
I still
fun.
say most OP quirk, without a doubt, still has to be matter manipulation. There's just nothing stronger.
That's true. But I don't think I've actually seen that yet. Wait, well, actually, I might have just come across one. But in any case, we'll find out later on when we actually go through the recording process. Yeah, I'm totally down. It's just finding a time like in between things to actually do that. And normally, I think I have a lot more time recording on the weekends, if anything. Everything else is just kind of like work, maybe some like gaming here and there, some like editing for other videos and whatnot. But yeah,
It's thought,
otherwise,
thought I went there last night. I was just schlepped.
oh yeah, yeah. I didn't hear from you like much yesterday.
Yeah, I was just schlepped.
Wait, what, you got a vaccine or something? Got some side effects on you?
Nah, I was just tired.
Okay. Speaking of such, I should probably give everyone like an update. What's it been? It's been like about a week since my second dose of the vaccine, and I'm pretty much good to go as far as I feel. So that whole business of me probably being like very sleepy last Friday, yeah, that was definitely side effects.
Drowsy.
Drowsy, but it was never enough to
Drowsy.
like take me over, right? It was just like,
You're like,
oh,
no,
this is
gotta stay
annoying.
awake.
Why do I feel so sleepy? But yeah, no. So that's like my general update as far as like dose. Otherwise, this week has been kind of alright. It's been a little stressful with work, but it is what it is. I understand that. And I think it's best to understand for anyone who's working out there and having really hard time because it's the whole pandemic and organizations have to adjust to it. It's just a temporary thing. Eventually, things will go back to normalcy, and we just all have to work together for that. And that's kind of been my mindset going through this week is that it sucks. I know it, but we'll get through
It's
it.
a group effort. It's a group
Group
effort.
effort for sure. Um, but also consider like anytime that you have like off precious as well. I know that I was talking to Mark. I'm not sure if it was like on stream or just like off camera, but I was having a hard time separating the two, work and life. They were starting to like intermingle together, and I was like, "Ooh, that wasn't a good thing." So, get myself
Yep,
back on track as far as just
work and life,
separating
they
them.
gotta be separate.
Got to split it.
I mean, sometimes you get the situation where work and life can coexist, but that's only if you. I think that's only if you truly, really enjoy what you're doing.
I guess so. Otherwise, you might have like those weird things where you hanging out with your coworkers all like off time, and it all of a sudden starts popping up. I remember that
Yeah.
it was it was weird. It was I think one of my no, yeah, it was my my nephew's graduation, and one I guess it was like a friend's like mother or aunt. Apparently she worked in the same area as I did, or the same organization as I was. I'm not sure if I talked to you guys before about it, but I remember it being really weird and uncomfortable because yeah, we had like a level of understanding about the workload over there as far as like what we do and like payment stuff like that. Um, I remember that like she was like really up in my face, like not like aggressive, but like physically up in my face talking about this. I was like, can without saying it, can you how do you tell them to back off?
Back up, man.
Because I mean, like, who are you trying to hide this from? But yeah, no, that was a weird experience there. But that's like an instance in which I guess like work and life can kind of intermingle when there's just two mutual people in the mix. But I haven't had that happen in a while. I would like to hang out with my coworkers. Just, it's not really the time. Give me like another week and I'll be ready. I remember I had and I still have this coworker friend who's totally open to just hanging out like at the bar. I just been waiting until like I got vaccinated for before I do something like that.
Understandable.
So I wanted to give an update with everyone as far as like other videos popping up on YouTube. Um, and I guess it definitely is now more relevant because of the fact of like some news about like a PlayStation 5 version of the game. Um, but episodes of Final Fantasy VII Remake. In addition to that, also Miles Morales, they'll be coming out soon. I can't give you an exact date, but they're coming out soon. The reason I'm not really giving out dates right now is because of the fact that it all depends on when I can get the last episode of Remake done, and I'm in the middle of 16 out of 18 episodes, so it's coming soon. But it does depend.
Hey, at least it's coming soon.
It's coming soon. And it's been fun just kind of revisiting like these old like recordings, just seeing like whether there be issues in audio or just seeing the game itself because remake is getting its PlayStation 5 update in June. Unfortunately, Mark, we know about this, but I guess there's an extension to the exclusivity of PlayStation
Want to
integrated
play
upgrade.
already?
Sorry, Mark. Like I know that you're really big on 15 after like you finished that and you were you're planning on jumping into like some remake, which I recommend too. But without PlayStation 5, it's kind of you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. But guaranteed though,
Why, Sony?
it's gonna be on other like platforms after 6 months.
Why, Sony? I just want to enjoy the game.
Wow.
Why?
Not to spoil it too much, but there's a sequence like in the game, depending on what you want to do, where all three of your characters are extremely exhausted, and your boy Barrett over here is like he's just like kind of like going on like running off his mouth because that's the only thing that can really run at this point. um, and what was that? Oh, it was Cloud. He said like, "Can we just shut up for a bit?" Tifa's like, "Actually, yes, let's do that." And Barrett just he's like, "Why?"
Why?
It's like this dude. Oh
Just
man,
why?
wow. I should grab like a voice clip of that. It's great. Oh man, but yeah, no. So with the upgrade with Intergrade, not only is it going to be allowing PlayStation 5 to do its works with the original game, kind of bumping up the amount of frames per second because it was locked at 30, which is still really good. but they're upgrading it to 60. In addition to that, they also have like a PlayStation 5 only like exclusive like DLC content featuring Yuffie, who normally would show up later, but you know, they're gonna just have her like just kind of like squeeze in this one, adding some like bonus like bosses as well as like a new story. So some cool stuff. I never I mean it's weird because like I got Game Pass. They have the original like 7 game on there. I just don't know if I ever will jump into that. I should though.
There's no reason why you shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean like Mark, I totally get like why you personally won't because it's just like it probably is a pretty jarring experience jumping to not only just turn based but also like it just being as blocky as it is.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to get into it when it's looking like a Nintendo 64 game.
Bruh. And you know what's weird is that what was it? The following game, which is like Final Fantasy 8, looks incredibly different. I
Oh,
mean, yes,
absolutely.
yeah, you of course you move around like kind of isometric camera view, but like the models are completely like in comparison, they just look a huge like next generation upgrade to it. I was watching someone like stream a little bit of 8 and I was like, this is crazy. This almost like what's 7? What the hell is 7?
A test.
Testing the waters. It was a pretty successful test though.
Oh, it was
But
a very, very successful test in terms of sales.
although I think I remember looking at what was the Game Pass store. I think one of the Final Fantasy games are actually going to be taken off of it. I think it could be 9. But 10's actually 10 and 10-2 are coming in. So that's actually a really nice one. Um I I hear good things about like 10-1, but 10-2 is kind of weird. The best way I can describe it is that it I think 10-2 looks like it could be just some spin-off like rhythm music dance game, right? Like personified as the characters themselves, but it ain't.
Man,
It's gonna be weird. Maybe one of these days I will jump into that, but
I
ooh,
really want to play Final Fantasy VII Remake and I want to play Final Fantasy 16, but they're both on Sony.
dude, it's like they're asking you. They're begging you. You
Dude,
know,
dude, like, if I've said before, I've gone on record saying it. If I had the money, I would have every console. I would.
hmm, if you did have like every single console, and like
I wouldn't have to worry about it.
yeah, and I guess like in extension, a bunch of like other games you could afford. Do you think you'd ever find like a favorite like amongst the three?
Uh, I don't know if I'd say a favorite because I've always really liked video games. But if I had to imagine if I had a favorite, I mean, for the nostalgia factor and just for the factor of I grew up with it, I'd probably stick with the Xbox, but I won't deny that Sony and Nintendo have really good games. I'd probably be like Xbox is my comfort zone, but I can appreciate
Sure.
all the games in the other consoles.
Jkim's also in the chat. Hey Jkim, sorry, I just saw your chat like right now. Amongst all these different like window tabs I got, but yeah, I hear you, Mark. I've
Yeah.
I've actually because I'm kind of on the opposite end of that, where like well, aside from the Series X, and that's a problem within itself. Um, I do have the 5, I do have the Switch, so it's like I mean I've
You're
been
missing one
more
piece of the puzzle.
yeah I mean I'm missing the last piece of the Millennium Puzzle. I I am leaning towards Switch a little bit more, which is I guess kind of weird because like there's also
I
like
mean,
the new
I get the appeal behind the Switch. I have a Switch, so I totally get it.
yeah. Actually, speaking of the Switch, I actually had to send out like my right Joy-Con to repairs.
I
It's
swear, man. No, they said there's Joy-Con drift. I'm just
oh
sitting
my
there. I was like, you know, it's real. You know, it's real.
yeah. So to give you the example of how I came across it, Mark, it was literally at the hub of Monster Hunter, and I just moved the camera like a little bit, let go, and then it just started spinning, like, and then it got a little faster, and then it stopped, and I moved the camera a little bit, then it starts going again. then stops. And I was like,
I understand because it happens to me too.
man, this is a problem.
I still haven't sent my Joy Cons out to get fixed. I've been using my controller, and now I think my
Yeah.
controller might even be doing it. So I'm like, Nintendo, why?
Yeesh. So definitely some nice advice. If you do come across like, I don't know how people do it with like a Switch Lite, you'd have to end up sending the entire thing. But if your Joy-Cons do end up with like some kind of Joy-Con drift, Nintendo does provide a service. It's hidden under the blanket, but they got it. You just have to find the right YouTube channel or video that would tell you that. I guess if anything, I could probably like, I'm pretty sure I could find it like right now and just post it like in the comments. Um, Literally what I do is just type in like Joy-Con drift repair, and it's like one of the first like searches. Oh yeah, it's from Damn It Jeff. I love it.
Damn
He's
it,
on
Jeff.
Amazon, Miss.
I love it. But
That sounds like your alter ego.
you think so, right?
Dang it, Justin. Damn it, Jeff.
You know, okay. This should work. Okay, yeah. So that's the inherent link to his video where he kind of illustrates like exactly the steps. You click on a link and you talk about what your Joy-Con is, whether specify if it's right or left. Also, there was another thing. Oh, you have to look at the specific code for your Switch, which you literally just look at the bottom of the physical like Switch itself. So do that. You wait like a 24-hour period, check your emails. They send you some kind of shipping label, some instructions, and you just pack it all together, just hand it off, and most likely you won't really spend money, but if anything, it'd just be packing supplies, and that's it. And then you just wait a week or two.
Yeah. I mean, like, also, I'm wondering what, because on the Switch, this current Monster Hunter Rise has been said to be it's the Switch exclusive Monster Hunter game, which was a ballsy move on their part because they saw how successful the multi-console release of World was,
World, yeah.
but Monster Hunter is also known for a pattern. They do a console release, and then they do a mobile release, and they're known for doing big versions, like separate big DLC expansions of each game. Like there's Monster Hunter World, there was Monster Hunter World Iceborne, which was like it was like another game inside the game.
Yeah, which is pretty great actually. So
oh yeah, I still need to play Iceborne.
I mean, seeing the new DLC for Monster Hunter Rise has been like, well, can we call it DLC? Well, yeah, actually, yeah, it is DLC.
It's DLC.
It is DLC, but it's free DLC, so it's super nice.
Which is because I remember the first DLC that got into Monster Hunter World was the Devil Jow.
What was that?
It's a Devil Jow. It's a monster in Monster Hunter. It was like the first free one in Monster Hunter World. Essentially, what it is they call it the pickle.
The pickle.
Because it looks like a big pickle.
Morty over here.
and it became. I tried hunting it after not playing the game for just a little bit, and I tried hunting it. Oh my gosh, dude, that thing was hard. Pickle ain't no joke.
Yikes. So wait, is that just like that's an Iceborne monster, right?
No, that was base.
That was base? Ooh.
It was just the first free update.
Oh, got you. Okay.
It's the introduction. Like, look it up right now. Look up DEVILOJU Devil Joe.
Monster Hunter World Devil. Yeah, there we go.
He's an angry pickle.
I can kind of see it. He's kind of like our B-52, but like it's all in the tail.
Bro, he's huge.
He is. Yeah, he's a boy.
Like, you should see his introduction trailer was literally him carrying around another monster, just throwing it.
Yikes.
Like Magnum Marlowe when he fucking walked in.
Yeah, he walked in. He had like the bear in his mouth, and he just tossed it.
Azeroth just threw it. I was like, now you see, if this is how I was introduced to Magna Malo, instead of just hunting him in the level 3 quest, I would have been like, that was a badass intro.
You
I
know,
still
I a little
Magna Malo.
side.
Why is he
Yeah,
not an Elder Dragon? Why? Why is he not an Elder Dragon?
why is it not an Elder Dragon? Why is Magmal not an Elder Dragon?
That's what I'm saying. Why is Magna Malo not an Elder Dragon? Why? Just why?
Okay, so you know how you talked about a Pacific monster from Ultimate, the one
Of
that like,
Valstrax.
requires a like living habitat looking ass. Um,
The fucking rocket powered dragon.
yeah.
Valstrax.
I was like, bruh.
Dude, it sounds cool as shit. I'd be down to fight it in Rise.
It's just with all these monsters. Granted, the B-52 is one thing, all right, but one that kind of is just chilling out with satellites out there. It just, I don't know.
Yo, I'm down. I'm down.
Like, I'm down. It looks super cyber as fuck, but like, I'm kind of
Oh,
down for it.
it looks sci-fi, but I think its design is actually really cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't like. I kind of would like to fight it, but if I
And
lived in this
we've
world and I knew this
already
thing
got
existed,
right. We've already got a few of what they call the Fatal Four in the
hmm,
game. The Fatal Four are Mizutsune.
okay,
Uh, Mizutsune is one of the Fatal Four. Then there's a few others. Like there's Gamara, or it's Gomora. It's like this mammoth looking thing. Which I was like, I could see that could get in the game. We do have the icy area, and it's a popular monster. I could see that. One that was in Iceborne, which was Glavius, who is actually got a really fucking cool ass mechanic because it literally will sharpen its tail and then use it as a weapon.
whoa, that's
Its
dope.
tail is like, look up Iceborne Glavius. It's fucking
Labius.
badass. I saw that. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
fucking
what
tight.
the?
I was like, that's fucking tight.
Wait, the bipedal thing?
It's bipedal, dude. It's on
Oh
two
my
legs.
god.
And it'll fucking take its tail, sharpen it with its mouth, and then just be like ready to kick some ass. I was like, holy shit, that's so cool.
This thing's wild. This
Oh,
thing's
it
a
was in
menace.
Iceborne. I was like, can we have it in Rise? I'm down to hunt it.
Good lord. They got some crazy looks. Monster designs are
Freaking wild.
god. I'm still on it about like our satellite dude. Like,
The rocket powered
granted,
dragon.
leaving us is one thing. And albeit there's some other elder dragons out there that are a huge problem.
A huge problem.
The walking mountain one, the first one you fight,
Oh, Zora Magdaros.
I mean, yeah, that's a problem. It's a god, what is it? It's
He's,
like
he's
it's
actually
almost like a
he's
walking
actually not even.
volcano.
He is a walking volcano, but he's also
Jeez,
not even the biggest monster. He's the third biggest.
he's the third biggest.
The other one is like it's a serpent basically, and it's enormous.
Well, I guess isn't there mythology about like large serpents? So I can kind of get
Yeah,
with it.
I mean, there's the world serpent, Jormungandr.
Yeah. That's the exact one I was thinking about. Yeah, he should be that one from God of War for PlayStation 4.
Yeah, he's also Jormungandr also made it into Smite, so he's the world serpent. Has a huge tie to Thor and the rest of Norse mythology.
Hmm.
It's because the story goes Ragnarok will start once the world serpent Jormungandr like lets go of its tail.
Oh,
Have you ever heard this? Have you ever heard of an Ouroboros?
yeah.
It's the serpent that's it's eating itself. You know, biting its own tail.
Yeah, okay.
So it wraps around the world like that. Once Jormungandr releases its tail and stops that cycle, that is when in Norse mythology Ragnarok is to occur.
Damn. Isn't like
And
just like a side tangent, isn't Ragnarok dealing with the idea of I mean, obviously it's a huge calamity, but the
yeah,
actual specifics of it, is it just something akin to like maybe like a meteor shower like raining on like an area, or is it just it could just be anything?
As far as I remember, Ragnarok is supposed to be the end of days. The destruction of Asgard.
But I guess
Like,
is there like anything that's tied to that as far as like an actual event that happens like on the lands, or is it just something that just kind of pops out and
uh, as far as I'm aware, I'm trying to remember everything that happened. Let's see, the signs of Ragnarok were that, and the ones who would bring about Ragnarok, one who would bring about Ragnarok, which was Fenrir.
yeah, because isn't that's how Thor Ragnarok goes? It's just like Thor's looking for the stones and he comes across I guess that dude who would bring ruin to Asgard. But he's like, yeah. But
Yeah,
like Thor willingly takes him there eventually. Or no, activates him.
yeah. Fenrir. Well, Fenrir is a wolf. He's a big wolf.
Okay.
And the thing about this wolf, you're not you're gonna be like, what? As soon as you hear this, you'll be like, what?
Okay.
He's the son of Loki.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he fathered a wolf.
Oh, so Loki gets with to make Fenrir would
Tech,
ultimately
technically, Fenrir he's a wolf, but if I'm not mistaken, his mother is a frost giant.
well, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense with like Loki, like MCU origin. So,
Yeah, it's
but
like because this is all actual Norse mythology.
so it's just wolf.
Yeah, it's pretty much wolf boy.
Okay. I don't know where the wolf originally comes from in the genes, but you know what? I mean,
I mean, hey, there's been crazier things in mythology.
I can understand it then. Oh, but kind of jumping back into the topics of things. Although I do say that like Rise has been great, and I look forward to maybe like some type of like expansion that can be its own separate game. But I get if they don't do that and they just keep adding stuff to Rise because of just how popular it is anyway.
Right,
Um,
and there's all the cool expansions that came with World that I'm hoping they might do with Rise. Like they might do some cool collabs because like in Rise we got Final Fantasy, we got
yeah,
with The Witcher. We talked about
Witcher.
that before a little bit,
Yeah, we did. Um,
but there was also a bunch of fan favorites that returned in World that hadn't been seen in a long time, and a lot of those made it into Rise. So that was cool because it's like it follows the console does that, and then they do the same thing with the mobile version. And so I'm imagining after Rise gets its big expansion, which I don't think it's going to be 3.0, but it could be. 3.0 is adding more new monsters, new areas, and a new ending, I believe,
oh yeah, something about a new ending. That'll be cool.
which is very very interesting to hear about. I mean, but I imagine after Rise has finished, we will probably get the next world.
Oh, you mean are we talking about like a brand new game?
Yeah, like a brand new, like probably the next console release of Monster Hunter.
Okay, I see what you mean. I was still on the idea that like I'm only saying this because Maximilian Duke kind of like pushes this like idea forward. Is the idea that once Monster Hunter Rise reaches a certain point, it will like release on multiple platforms after that, specifically PC.
I don't think so. I think it's going to only release on PC because I would like to believe it's going to land on more consoles, but I don't see any reasoning of like other outside of they should. I don't see any other reasoning outside of like
It's rough.
it's like
Yeah,
they should, but it's like that's not our choice.
that's true. Like we're not the ones writing up these contracts.
I'm like, you think Capcom's like, huh, you think I will? You think I won't?
Yes. I think
It's
it's might depend on like the I guess the capabilities of the Switch too, because you know how Resident Evil Village came out recently, and that's on Xbox, that's on PlayStation, but it's not on Switch for a fair
like I
good
remind.
reason.
Oh yeah, it's for good boys and girls. But my friend is actually playing it right now on his PC.
Oh, really? How's he liking it?
Yeah, Oh, he's liking it. He is what they call scaroused.
Scare. Oh, I got you.
That's what he keeps saying. He keeps saying he's scaroused. I was like, oh my god.
My lord, dude, you're beyond help. But no, oh man, I was watching
Cap
Max do the
Capcom knew
stream
what
of
they were
it.
doing.
There was a pretty terrifying sequence. It really calls home to those who have like a certain phobia of certain things. I'll leave it at that.
What type of phobia?
You know when you hate dolls?
Uh, like the Chucky thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
I
intense.
understand that fear. I understand that fear. Baby dolls can be pretty scary.
I think it's because the way they approach it, like they obviously, it's all about the atmosphere. They build it up very slowly, and then at a certain point, you become self-aware that like it's all kind of happening around you, and when you feel like there's like an applied, like invisible pressure, like applied to you, it it kind of brings up the anxieties up.
Oh, absolutely. Like I
Uh,
I'll full be the first one to say, like I fully agree that while you shouldn't be afraid, you get why you're afraid because baby dolls, bro, they be looking kind of creepy.
yeah, this one specifically, but there's also, I'll see if I can share the clip to you later. Someone did do a brilliant clip of it. It wasn't a doll per se. It deals with the characters' like concerns and worries, and they manifest that into something disgusting.
Oh
Essentially, it,
no.
it deals with the main character's relatively newborn daughter. So
Oh no, not the kid.
it's dark, and it like literally feeds off of our imaginations.
That sounds terrifying.
It's actually grosser than, you remember PT, and there's thing in the sink.
Yeah.
It's somehow grosser than that. But
Like
yeah,
I've heard Resident Evil will go from I've heard Resident Evil can be scary, but I've heard it's usually more of an action game than anything.
it's been more action these days. Although I think seven,
Sounds like they're heading back around to their roots.
yeah, seven was definitely the thing that kind of pushed them back to it. That's when we started seeing like the remakes and stuff like that kind of pop up, and kind of reintroducing not just the action portion of it in a different way, but also just the horror aspects. And eight goes in a what seems to be a really good direction series, and now Capcom has that groundwork laid out now to come up with a thing that could possibly twist and traumatize us. I'll tell you right
Would
now,
be
if you played that, if you played this certain sequence in Resident Evil Village at a certain age, you would be traumatized and you would never want to pick up horror games ever.
Cosmo was psychologically scarred.
Yeah, good lord, it's it's a bad time. I'll be sure to share the clip to you later. I'll share it to everyone actually in our Facebook chat. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, the fact is that I guess Nintendo probably like gave Capcom a handsome sum of money considering how popular World is. Never had it like for their Nintendo consoles aside from like, what was it, Generations Ultimate? So
Yeah. I
they
think
saw
Generations
what,
Ultimate, like I look at Generations Ultimate to see if it played at all like World since it actually came out after World.
did
Like
it really?
I try
I think
it
I
get
could have
it
sworn it
came
was
out
like a
in
localized type of thing.
I think it might have been a localization. I don't know because I just saw that it came out in 2018. But I don't know if that's just specifically speaking on the Switch version or
I don't know. I don't remember the time frame for Monster Hunter Ultimate or Generations Ultimate. I'll actually look it up right now. But from what I understand is that Generations Ultimate actually had some of the old mechanics into the game, and obviously World does a lot more to alleviate a lot of the issues with that.
yeah. You asked me if I got my food. Like yeah.
Oh, okay,
But no,
gotcha.
but like graphically, especially, I mean, that's where World shined the most. And remember, there's a lot of complaints about Rise for that, but it's also because I mean, it's like Rise has a lot of other stuff going for it.
Yeah, Rise has a lot. Like, I mean, obviously, I haven't played World that much because this was during the time that Rise was about to release, so I wasn't able to like fully dive in. So I only know the mechanics for Rise being like super nice right now, but it was probably a little bit more of calls it an issue kind of going with World. Like obviously World does a lot like for the series the old formula and then Rise kind of like tweaks it even more so. So there's that. I'm pretty sure if I jump back into World there'll be things I can point out but it won't be like a huge issue for example, but like for Generations that was it's telling me it came out in 2015 like initially.
Generations or
Um
Generations Ultimate?
yeah, right. So if you were saying that it came out around 2018, and I'm inclined to believe that because I could have sworn that I've seen this thing relatively recently in like the few years. So, I mean, if I recall correctly, maybe it was a game that originally like released in Japan, and we didn't get like a port for it like until the Switch version, which may have been 2018. Probably, Switch was 2017. So, so essentially, it's like an updated port for it. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that's when they had like a 3DS version of it too.
yeah. I saw that it was on 3DS. I was like, damn.
So
So
like
that's why I was confused when I saw the release date of 2018. I was like, this must mean the Switch version, right?
so I guess that's what I was saying is that Nintendo saw the opportunity like with World and just like put a lot of funds into like making uh like a version of World but for the Switch. And the Mad Lads did it. But there's probably a contract involved with that. So it can't
I,
I
I
mean,
mean, I imagine.
because I'm not sure if Generations ever got like a PC version. No, it didn't. I just checked. But
Yeah, I think Generations was fully console.
although I guess with
I'm
the
just wondering, was there
popularity of Rise, I don't see why they wouldn't try to do something if as long as it's like outside of the contract and contract has already been fulfilled.
like,
So
I mean, my thing with Rise is like, I want to like, I'm just curious as to like how different is a PC port going to be? Because are they going to graphically enhance it? Is it going to be a whole different experience?
it's
Like, what is
true
truly going to be the difference?
because this whole RE engine business does definitely you can see it, but obviously the Switch's graphical limitations do kind of like hinder it from being like outright so beautiful. But it's still really beautiful, like for the Switch anyway. So aside from like the increase in like frames and stuff like that, you might see some like very like small quality things like maybe like the deeper shadows for example. I forget what that's exactly called again, but stuff like that is just gonna be like really minor. I don't think they would I mean I can't like speak on their behalf because they're the ones who know exactly how this game is like built up, but I guess if anything just the performance wise aesthetically they'll probably do something but I could never like detail exactly what that'd be.
Yeah, like it's a whole lot of what ifs essentially.
Yeah, this we'll give props though because of just like how good it is running on the Switch. I think I've only come across like some crash once, and that was like at a random. I couldn't even tell you like what happened. It just happened, but it was a crash.
A crash is a crash.
A crash is a crash. But what was this? I did also have another topic to talk about, kind of relating over to the PlayStation 5 aspect of things. I think. I'm not sure if anyone we talked about like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. But it's definitely
Oh yeah,
gotten
that is a thing.
it did get my interest. I know that Nye's been both Nye and Phil have been talking about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart because it's going to be one of those. Despite there being a few exclusive titles already for PlayStation 5, this would just add to the collection of that. Um, so obviously they're looking forward to it. Nye is doing his marathon of it. That's what
Oh,
was
yeah,
it? Avid.
yeah, he is streaming it right now.
Yeah, he is streaming a full marathon of like every like chronological game that he can play right now with the resources that he's got. at Absol's Art Official on Twitch. So yeah, go ahead and check that out too, because like I think he's playing through like a couple of the first ones, but these are remastered versions for PlayStation 3. He's got the resources to actually be able to show that off, and it's actually really good looking. So,
Well, it's real good.
but then again, yeah, it is because it is a remaster, which thankfully they did a remaster of that. Honestly, like I'm over here like in the Mega Man Battle Network camp here, like I I need you to put this in a like more current console port, please. Ah, Game Boy Advance and DS only. Like, bro, why would you? So why would you do this? Uh I'm still looking at those sales though for the other Legacy Collection stuff. I was like, I mean,
Just like,
that's
ooh,
yeah. Phil's definitely talked about like preserving games, and sure, like giving an HD port is another way to just kind of bring it back to current things and help preserve it. But when you don't put a HD port to it, makes me sad. But it is what it is. We'll see later on. It's still technically like Mega Man Battle Network's, I think 30 years, maybe a little less than that. Well, it's one of their anniversaries, so I'll plan on doing something like that on the Twitch stream stuff. So we'll see if they'll do anything after the fact. But back to Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because yeah, with like that coming out and Nai's shared passion with it through his streams, I might consider playing like the PlayStation 4 version of it. I'm not sure where it hits on the chronological story, but it's there and it's free,
it's
so
there somewhere.
it's somewhere. So I'm considering playing. Oh yeah, little last topic that I had written down here. It was actually talking about like Xbox. Mark, do you know about the new headphones that they came out with?
Um, I've heard about these new headphones. I have not looked at these new headphones.
Um, well, it seems that Microsoft and Xbox have collaborated with Bang& and Olufsen. Um, I've never heard of this brand. I'm gonna be straight and honest with you, but they came out with some pretty expensive headphones. They don't, they, they don't look expensive. I'll let you know about that.
They don't look expensive.
They don't look expensive from like what I see, but then again, that's just my personal taste in it. But they are just as expensive as the Series X console.
Goodness gracious!
So you gotta wonder. It's like, well, you gotta have some like stuff to justify that, right? Thing with
You gotta have something to justify the price.
from what I read up, and I could probably like look at it right now, but what they were advocating about is that it does have like noise canceling. I guess the latest headphones that go with Xbox, I guess they don't have that either, but this one has like active noise, and I guess from like a review that I heard about it, it's not bad. It's just it has like some pretty good function for Xbox and just wireless gaming in general, but for that price, not so sure. So I just wanted to bring that up because obviously um the the more recent like wireless headsets have been selling it like hotcakes. It's hard to find those actually. Although I think it may have slowed down now, but that was like after weeks of this being out, so it kind of just shows how popular or how I guess how well the branding was for. So bringing that up, and my brother coming over this weekend, he told me that he actually has the Series X, and I was like, man, damn it, and the headsets. I was like, ah, damn it. So now that kind of makes me want Series X more, even though I've gone on camera to say I probably don't need it. Probably still don't need it,
But I want.
but damn it, I want it.
That's the thing. It's like I don't need it, but I
I don't
want.
need it. I guess I could say the same about that red controller. I was like, I don't need it, but I want it.
I don't need it, but I want it.
Oh
Ain't
yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
also I was just sorry, I just realized that yeah, Game Pass, in addition to the Final Fantasy stuff, they did show like they released Dragon Quest Builders 2 and
Yeah, so that's out now.
yeah, I've been thinking about like trying that one out because obviously the whole Minecraft like has kind of familiarity of it, or at least the looks of it like that.
Yeah,
Um,
did you ever try out Second Extinction?
I was thinking about it. I think because I think it all started with like me trying to figure out like, okay, well, I do have Game Pass for like console and PC, so I could do like a performance test on both to see like what works. Obviously, I've learned that I'm just kind of been okay with whichever actually, but
Yeah.
if I have a PC that I might that like is pretty high functioning, then I should probably just kind of go that way anyway. So yeah, I haven't tried it. I was just kind of like debating in my head whether or not which platform to get that on. That'd be the actual Xbox or PC.
I mean, I could play with you on the Xbox.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure like they got a thing about like cross compatibility. I'm sure about that.
Like
But
crossplay is coming later on.
okay, that's a separate thing then. Okay.
I
In
think
that
it's set
case,
for June.
really, okay. In that case, I would yeah, I'll just download on just the Xbox then. Yeah, and that's like all the more reason to try it out because for some reason also earlier today that Xbox released a bunch of like other videos about some of their games getting a lot more performance boosts. One of them is like Metro Exodus. I saw like the comparisons. I was like, wow, that is a glow up. Mm,
That is a glow up.
that is that is America's ass.
It is America's ass.
So yeah, it's like, man, I know I don't need it, but I want it. Now I have another reason. It sucks though because I'm trying to do some budgeting things for something that I'll tell you like later off camera, but it's $500. I'm like, "Oh, I shouldn't. I want it.
But I want it.
I want it. It would work well, like with because I'm really curious about Scarlet Nexus, but of course I'll wait until like a review for that one.
I'm very curious about Scarlet Nexus.
Uh, I'm also kind of like, not so equally cautious because I'm a little bit pro for it. Biomutant.
Oh yeah, I want to play Biomutant too.
I think that one will actually do a lot more, like do a lot better. But
Well, I think Biomutant's going to do fantastic, I imagine.
I can imagine, yeah, just based on what I've seen. But if there's something else that they're not showing us, that's kind of like what I want to see, like the in between. I
I
guess
wonder
we'll
if
see
Scarlet
about
Nexus
that.
will make it. I wonder if Scarlet Nexus will make it to Game Pass. It's been advertised so much on Xbox that I feel like it kind of
Yeah,
deserves to be on Game Pass.
yeah, that's true. But what's
It's like
interesting is that like, would it fall within the guidelines of the? Well, I say guidelines, but it's just like what I would perceive as guidelines. If like how like first parties get like a go priority for Game Pass upon release. I'm not sure if Scarlet Nexus kind of qualifies for that because even though it's promoted heavily on Xbox, so is Dragon Ball Fighters, like
true,
initially, which
but I
now
will
is
say
which is
this:
multi-platform.
Outriders though,
Yeah, that's true.
Outriders it was shown on Xbox a decent amount,
Yeah.
but it's not a first party game, and somehow it ended up on Game Pass day one.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Good counter argument on that one. So it could be actually.
That's why I
Because
say like I think it's a smart move to put it on Game Pass because
yeah,
that allows a lot more people to be exposed to your game.
not only that, but Outriders is also well, I guess we are talking about Scarlet Nexus, but similar to like that, Outriders is kind of like this mass like multiplayer game. So I mean, it gives people like a reason to still utilize like their Game Pass to play like that type of game specifically. So,
Oh,
uh,
absolutely.
so maybe I mean, sure, maybe Scarlet Nexus isn't like a big multiplayer game, but it's still like as you said, it does benefit. That one, I'm not sure if it was an article or it was actually like a video from these creators from one Game Pass, one of their games that was presented on Game Pass, which is like, I think it was something Descenders. It dealt with like you going down like a hill like on a bike. Um, Apparently that did incredibly well on Game Pass, more so than if they were to just kind of publish it on their own. So I say like it's Game Pass has definitely shown like a lot of benefits. So much so that it's kind of not so beneficial to kind of go without it. So
Yeah, I just say like the benefits that I see you getting from Game Pass for as a company, the exposure it gives you. I'm just like it seems more like a plus than a loss.
yeah. So I mean, hoping for you as well, Mark. But something like Final Fantasy like 7 remake, and Game Pass is and Xbox really their relationship in just kind of allowing a lot of these Final Fantasy games to show up on Game Pass. Maybe within the 6 months or after the 6 months, excuse me, of this whole like PlayStation 5 exclusive, maybe it'll just drop on Game Pass.
Honestly, I'm hoping to just surprise us and it's just boom, there it is.
A sure telltale sign will be when the original like just pops off shelf. Like, excuse me, what's happening? Make no, yeah, I'm hoping for that. Yeah, it would be cool if Scarlet Nexus shows up on Game Pass because I personally want to just try that out, but we'll see. I mean, they've been pretty good at just not really showing us a lot for the game, despite it having been announced like a while back. It's hoping things hush hush, and I'm like, man, I just want to know.
I just want to know.
I want to know. Can you show me?
Can you show me
For the strangers like me.
the stranger like me?
All right. I think that's everything. Mark, was there anything you wanted to add? Anything that happened recently?
I got Justin to agree to read Reborn.
Oh yes. Hey, are you gonna betray me? No.
We'll see. We'll see if he sticks to it.
I'll try to. I need to I'll need to actually get around to do that subscription thing. For Viz. It is on Viz, right?
It's on Viz, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
I think it is.
Okay. That'd be like
Like
that'd
I
probably be
can
the best way for me to go and watch that.
you can
But
check.
I'll read
You
that.
can check. Otherwise, it's the internet. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think something that I recently read was like the latest chapter for Boruto, and the reason I read that was because a lot of people were talking about how they found their new female character, the simp for. I was like, oh lord, what is this? And I get it. Having read it, I get it. He's a problem. I get it, Uncle. She's my sister. I should really get along with her, right? Nah, she's crazy. You need to go down.
Nah, she's crazy. You got to take her down.
God damn, Ari.
I mean, hey, he's a G, man. He's real.
He's I mean, I say it like jokingly, but it's true. He has been through it. Listen, I know you don't know this. You don't know the Zuko, but I'm going to have a specific small episode that'll carry your feels. It's gonna start like bam, 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 and you all of a sudden tears are just gonna start flowing. Why? Waterbending?
Am I waterbending? No, I'm feeling.
I'm feel bending. Oh man,
Feel
but
bending.
oh, Mark, you talked about you watched Demon Slayer recently.
Yeah, shit was tight.
Yeah, it's really tight. Listen,
That
I
mu-
gotta
that mu-
recommend to everyone. Like,
that
it's
music
probably
for the
not gonna.
final fight hit different.
It hits different. Listen, June is coming in sooner than I thought, and June is when the movie will show on video on demand. It's still worth watching in the movie. Get the opportunity. Do it safe, but like, it's worth it. So
So
good.
absolutely, it's really good. I don't know how would I describe what that music sounds like? Like techno, dubstep, and rock all put together at one time.
Shoot, I should listen to it again. I didn't.
That's what.
It's oh yeah, I gotta listen to it again. It's been a few weeks, so I'm like,
That
ooh.
put that's ready up for battle. Just like, what the fuck is happening?
I love when they do experiment with like new things, but it's been a while, so
But
I might have to jump into that.
it was good. I was like, what the fuck? This music? Oh, we getting real up in here right now. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, no, actually, I can see it now. Yeah, definitely recommend that. Huge recommendation. For that. I guess that's pretty much it. All right. In that case, we will go ahead and call it for the stream. So thank you guys so much for watching and or listening to episode 359 of DangIT Podcast. Next week's going to be 360. Who knows what you're going to expect to see when that comes around. But thank you guys so much for watching again. My name is Justin.
Mark.
And thanks for watching. Hashtag bye, everyone. Take care of yourselves.
Peace.
Yes. Peace.